everyone, my name's Ashley Wylde and welcome to my channel, Ashley's Wild Life. This video, the gender tag project explanation, is to explain the goals and some of the background information that you might need if you're interested in the gender tag. I also want to use this video to explain why I think the gender tag is important and to hopefully convince you to make a gender tag video if you're on the fence about it. In honor of my gender tag project video, I am wearing the boy-girl shirt made by Stuzo Clothing, and there will be a link in the description. Let's start here. What is gender? The biggest distinction that people sometimes have a hard time with is sex versus gender. All of the definitions I'm going to provide in this video come from sources, so I will also have links to my sources below. Biological sex is a combination of biological factors, and it is typically designated at birth in this country. If you're born in a hospital, a doctor will designate it on your birth certificate. Gender, on the other hand, has a lot more to do with your sense of self and how you experience the world. Gender is the state of being male or female, typically used with reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones. Because gender is social and cultural and sex is biological, how you identify in one category is not necessarily linked to the other. Okay, cool. Now we know the difference between sex and gender. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's talk about the difference between gender identity and gender expression. Gender identity is a person's internal sense of being a man, a woman, neither of these, both, and so on. One's inner sense of being. Everyone has a gender identity. That's important. Even if you've never thought about your gender identity before, you still have one. On the other hand, gender expression is the ways in which a person manifests masculinity, femininity, both or neither, through appearance, behavior, dress, speech patterns, preferences, and more. All of these things are important to understand as we begin to talk about what it means to live a gendered life. No one person experiences gender in the exact same way as another person. That is the bottom line for why I am making this video. If every single person in the world experiences gender differently, my mind is blown by the number of possible experiences. I'm so interested in that. I want for gender to be accessible. I want for everyone to be able to fathom how others experience gender. So I came up with the gender tag. The goal of the gender tag is to allow anyone who is interested to make a video answering the same set of the 10 gender tag questions, and then to take all of the videos and put them in a central location in a playlist so that anyone who is curious or interested in the experience of gender would be able to go, look at the playlist, and instantly find a bunch of examples of how different specific individuals experience the world when it comes to gender. I think this is unique because it would give someone who didn't understand gender very well a chance to hear firsthand what it's like to live in a gendered world. This is a project for everyone. I want to see videos about how trans people and cis people experience gender. I want to see videos about how queer people and straight people experience gender. I want to know how men and women and other non-binary genders experience gender. How does your culture inform your experience of gender? How does your ability status or your socioeconomic status influence your experience of gender? I want to be able to learn about the experience of gender from as many different people as I can possibly learn from. The 10 questions or prompts that I've come up with for the gender tag cover things from gender identity and expression to gender roles, and they are broad. And they're broad on purpose so that any person might choose to answer them in a way that reflects their experience. So in the questions, which are listed in the description and which I'll also place at the end of this video, there are some words that you might not be familiar with, so I want to address them. One is pronouns. Most people know what pronouns are. They are words that describe nouns. But how they fit into the gender picture is that people have preferred pronouns. They have pronouns that honor them when they are used. An example of pronouns that might honor someone are she, her, and hers. Those are the pronouns that honor me. Especially when someone transitions from using one set of pronouns to another, that honor piece is really important. When those set of pronouns are not used with regard to that person, it can be harmful. If someone tells you what their pronouns are, it's important that you respect them. Another definition is dysphoria. Dysphoria by itself is a state of unease, but gender dysphoria has to do with a feeling of dissonance or incongruity between the way that you feel about yourself inside your head and the way that your body physically manifests. So if there is a difference between how you feel and how you appear, it can cause a lot of problems. It's a source of really serious triggering problems for some people. And lastly, misgendered. The act of misgendering someone is making an assumption about their gender that isn't correct. So if you were to meet an androgynous person who identified as male and you used the word she with relation to that person, they might feel misgendered because she might not line up with that male identity. This is a reason that it's important to ask so that we can learn about other people's gender boundaries. With all of these definitions in mind, I also want to add that the gender tag is completely challenge by choice. If any part of the questions feel triggering or upsetting to you, or are things that you don't want to talk about or are not ready to talk about publicly, skip them and don't look back. It's not important that you answer every question as it's written. The questions are meant to be an outline. So if you don't want to answer something, take it out. And if you feel like something's not in there that's important to your experience, add it in. The purpose of creating a gender tag video is to share your experience and to add to the diverse experiences of others so that we have a wealth of information about the real human experience of gender. If you decide to make a gender tag video, make sure that you include the gender tag in the title so that when I search it, I can find your video and add it to my playlist. Also, feel free to send me links via Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube if you think that I've missed your video, because I really want to capture as many as possible to make this playlist a resource for people who are trying to learn about gender. I am so excited about the potential for this project, and I am so excited for myself to be able to learn about the experiences of others. Follow the link below to see my personal gender tag video. Stay put to see the questions as prompts so you can use them in your videos if you choose. And my hope is that the playlist of gender tag videos grows and grows and grows. So thank you in advance for considering adding to this resource. I hope every single one of you decides to make a gender tag video. Thank you all for watching, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Bye-bye.